Alright, what is going on, guys? So we have an extremely action-packed war today. This might be the best, I think it is the best war of the season, at least so far. I just played really well, got a lot of fights, and it's very enjoyable. Like, I watched back this war already once, and I was like, wow, that was just some good fights. Like, I like when I have wars like that, where it's enjoyable for even me to go back and just watch it, just on my own, I'm not even recording it after, you know? I was pretty hyped, too, when I, did some of the last fights, but we'll talk about when we get there. So, starting out the war, we're on path number 3, and you know, I was actually thinking about taking path number 4 this war. There was a Domino and then a Havok on path 4, so you know, I could have just went full Ghost and taken that, but the reason I didn't is because there was a lot of mini bosses and a main boss that I also wanted to help contribute to, and I feel like that makes the wars even better too, having mini boss fights and boss fights. So yeah, I decided just to take path 3. A bit more of a chilled path at the start, still some good fights, but then when we move to the final section where we fight the mini bosses and main boss, it gets really good. So the end of the war is extremely exciting. So first up, you know, we have an Ultron, super easy fight, just brought in Namor, easy, right? And the next up here we have a Havok, which is a little bit more annoying, and I come in and it's a rank 5 Havok, so I was like, alright, let me put on a little bit of a boost just to play this safe. I'm going to go ahead and put on a 20% boost. I'm like maxed on all these boosts because I try to just, I like to save stuff. I like to save items. I'm a big saver. So, you know, I like to save catalyst items for the future, right? That's just, I don't know, that's just how I like to play the game. So, I've been saving boosts for Legends Run and stuff, so I don't really use them too often. So I need to start using them a bit more in War stuff, and just, you know, it's a good idea to boost up in War just to be safe. Because if you die without boosting, then you get in trouble. But, you know, this is Psychic Thorns. Namor, one of the best options in the game for Psychic Thorns for sure. And Namor is a really solid option for Havok as well. You really got to time the plasma detonations here. And so far, I've timed the first 2 explosions of the plasma pretty well. I want him to use a couple of heavy attacks and some L2s just to kind of slow down the plasma gain here. And then right here, I time another plasma detonation pretty darn well. I'm getting close to another one to bait out a heavy attack. And then I push him up again here. Boom, time another plasma detonation. I think that was the 4th one that we timed. We're still at like high 80% health, looking pretty good. I get to my L3, go ahead and drop this. This is going to give me the big juicy Fury. And then we'll be hitting really hard. So I was hoping this would just kill Havok, but it doesn't quite kill him. I'm like, alright. And then he throws his L1 here. It's unblockable, but I'm pretty good at dexing that, so I wasn't really too worried there. And then we're going for one more combo, and with that Fury, we're hitting super hard, and we reflected a ton of damage from the Psychic Thorns because we were hitting so hard. There was like 5k in red there. So that fight went really well. Namor, I love using him for Psychic Thorns, dude. It was annoying because normally I bring Namor for AQ on this current iteration. There's a Korg that has like, it's vivified as like triple power gain. I like Namor for that, but since I brought Namor to war, I had to use Omega for it, and I ate an L3. I survived, but yeah, I much prefer Namor for that. But yeah, I needed Namor in AQ in war. Omega Red also works for this path, but I just prefer Namor, especially for this MODOK guy here. As you can see, it's limber, and you know, a lot of the times I'll just be hitting him on the block, and that's fine. I really don't mind hitting him on the block. It still does some damage. So with the Psychic Thorns, you know, I'm just chipping away at his health a little bit, waiting to get my openings, just baiting out the special ones, playing it pretty safe. And you know, there is limber, so I've used a couple parries. I used another one here, and you can see the parry is starting to get pretty short. So right here, bait out a heavy attack instead. And yeah, so far it's going pretty good. That was the last parry I'm really going to be able to use. I'm going to go ahead and trigger my Imperious Rex here manually. Going to go ahead and pull out MODOK's. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're pulling out of MODOK, but yeah, it's enough to just kill him on the special 3 there. It's super weird not seeing Namor's L3 with all the water and everything, but yeah, I took down MODOK. So then next up, I get teleported to the mini bosses, and there's 2 mini bosses, both Domino, and it's the dodge defender tactics. So I was a little worried here. I'm like, yeah, I'll take one. I got Ghost. I don't have any synergies though, so this is no synergy Ghost this war, which is kind of like a throwback to how I used to use Ghost at rank 4 unduped without synergies. That's how I first started really using Ghost, so it's a little bit weird, but once you get used to it, it's not too bad here. I'm really only going to be good doing one-hit combos because that way Domino won't be able to evade me. Just going to be trying to play it really safe here. Here my phase fails, but I'm keeping an eye on it. When you're really fighting Domino with Ghost, you really just, every time you go to phase, you need to make sure you are phasing and you get the crit passive. And yeah, right there with the L2, you see we waited till she dashed at us and then dropped it, because it's not going to be unblockable, so we can't just throw it whenever. And we take Domino down. We still have like 80% health. That fight went really good. I was a big sigh of relief after that fight, man. I was a little bit worried about it. And then we move into section number 2. So I have 2 fights here, an Emma Frost and a Stark Spidey. And this first fight is Biohazard. So this was the reason I brought Ghost, just because Ghost is perfect for Biohazard. My favorite option for Biohazard for sure. Just get more Furies. It's really great if you get the debuffs on you. So yeah, Emma is a small champion though, so she also has the Defender tactic node applied to her, so got to be a little bit careful here. She's unduped, so I have to evade her L1 normally. It's not inverted or anything like that. Throw my L2, first part crits, second part doesn't crit because of her diamond form, so much crit resistance, but the third part of it does crit and it kills her 11 hits. Fight went great. Good old Ghost, man. And then we had one more fight in section 2 here, and it's a Stark Spidey. And then Seaton takes path number 1, so it was linked up to like 3, 4 in the morning, and then that's when we're going to continue the fights. So yeah, Stark Spidey here. In one of the last wars, I had an issue where the opponent threw 2 hits into my phase, and then I went to attack, and I got parried. So I wasn't going to let that happen again. So as you can see at the start of the fight, I parried Stark Spidey instead, and that's why I did that. So right here, I'm trying to get an L1 out of him. I don't want him to have too much power this fight, so I'm going to try to bait this out. He doesn't really want to throw it. So I throw my heavy attack, and I end up getting a Fury. So, I'm just like, let's go for it. And I drop the L2, and it kills him. So we're looking all right. That L2 hit super hard with the Fury. I had a good feeling that it would kill him. Stark Spidey doesn't have that big of a health pool. And that's the first 2 sections down. Now we move on to the next part of the war. This was at like 5 in the morning or something like that. I was actually on a call with Hector and Tiffany. We're all just hanging out on Skype. Hector ended up pulling an all-nighter, so he like made us stay up with him. So I'm like, all right, I gotta go do some more fights real quick. Hopped out of the call, get in here, and I'm like, all right, dude, let's do this. We got a Nick Fury, a Korg, and then a champion boss. So I actually had some 30% boost expiring after buying the Doctor Doom Early Access Bundle. We bought it twice, so we got like 6 of the 30% boosts, and 2 of them went into Overflow. And they only last for 2 weeks. I thought it was going to be 30 days, so I'm not going to be able to utilize them as for the Legends run. So I went ahead and popped a 30%er boost right now, because this war was pretty close, so I didn't want to die here. So yeah, boost up big time. And Nick Fury, dude, he's one of the hardest defenders in the game right now. He's super annoying. So I knew this was going to be a tough fight, but with Namor, I really like Namor for Nick Fury. Probably my favorite option for Nick Fury. Just like Ghost would be so good for Nick Fury if he didn't have the ability to stop miss. If Nick Fury didn't have that mechanic, dude, Ghost would be great. But because he does, Ghost is, I hate using Ghost for Nick Fury. So there was the L1 here, and I was really worried that my Imperious Rex was going to activate. I had to let go of block in the middle of that L1 and then snap back into block, just because I didn't want to trigger my Imperious Rex manually. I was a little bit worried there. But as you can see, a really great mechanic on this node is stun immunity on Nick Fury. So when Namor actually parries and he fails to apply the stun, he gets an outrage stack. So that's really nice. A really easy way to gain outrage on stun immune nodes is just parry. So that's really cool. So that helped build some up right here. So right here I'm at 28. I'm about to hit 29. And then I'm going to bait out a heavy attack here. And then medium. And boom, we hit Imperious Rex. Going to go ahead and do a little combo. Push myself to another L3. Going to drop this. And I was really hoping I could time my L2 to like kill him. Let him heal up all his health. And then hit the last hit. Make a really big hit. Or just use it like 2 L2s in a row. I was really hoping I could just kill him here. So boom, 62k. A big hit, 130k, but he healed it all back. I was like, no, that was such a big hit. I get off an L1, and it hits really hard, but he's not quite dead yet. So I go for a 5-hit combo, and we're hitting so hard to 17k mediums, 11k lights, and 2 more combos does the trick. That was insane, man. That L2 hit so hard, but he healed it all back up. That was so disheartening, man. I went back and watched the fight after, put it in like slow motion. I took a picture, a screenshot of that damage number. It's like 160k or something, and then he just healed it all back up. I was like, oh man. But we were hitting so hard, so it was okay. Now this next fight, dude, Korg with 200% power gain. That means triple power gain. I was a little bit worried about this fight, and I was debating actually using Symbiote Supreme. But then I was thinking, actually no, if I use an L3, that just might give him too much power. It might give him an L3, and then I could tank an L3, but then his crowd excitement's going to be super high, so I'm like, no, let's just heal up Namor, bite the bullet, use a couple potions, and we'll be okay. So I pop an invulnerability boost as well, just in case, because there's a lot of power gain here. In case he goes to an L3, I'll be able to tank it, and I'll be okay. Like I said, this war was really close, so I didn't want to chance anything. And again, this was at like 5 in the morning. I was also pretty tired at this point, so... but whenever I do war, it really gets my blood pumping, so... this war actually kind of woke me up, re-energized me a bit. But like I said at the start of this video, normally I take a Korg that has Vivified and AQ, which is triple power gain. It's actually worse than this. This node has more health and stuff, but the node itself, Vivified, it makes the defender so that you can't power control them, and they just have triple power gain. So I have some experience fighting Korg in this kind of a case with all this power gain. So that's actually pretty good that I do that path in AQ. So I'm a little bit well versed in this extremely powerful power gaining Korg. I was really just trying to bait out L2s as much as I can. Always want to push into those L2s. And so right here, I timed this really well. I dropped my first L3 right before his rock stacks come back. So this is going to deal a decent amount of damage. And then it's also going to give us the Fury. And then I'm going to be able to hopefully combo him as soon as his rock stacks come back right here. Drop another L3, boom. Now this is going to take off his rock stacks. And then we're going to be able to drop some big L2s. And hopefully those L2s just kill him. Hopefully they crit really hard like against Nick Fury. We had some really good crit rate versus Nick Fury. So I'm hoping that continues here as well. So we drop this L3, boom, his rock stacks are down, but he throws an L1, which is super annoying. And then I dash in after, throw my L2, 23k, 23k, 46k, doesn't crit at all. I go for an L1 here, heavy into an L1 to get some power, and the L1 finishes him off, so that was okay. If one of those hits on the L2 would have crit though, it probably would have just killed him, which was a little unfortunate, but it was all good. I don't need Namor anymore, so it's fine. Next up we have a champion boss. So for this champion boss, we're obviously going to be using Symbiote Supreme. I'm going to go ahead and pop a 150% Mystic boost. Using one of these Mystic boosts makes the fight really safe and so much easier. You guys are going to see in a second here. But I'm also going to pop a Regeneration boost. I'm going to replace the Invulnerability boost because I actually have one of them about to expire. I'm actually going to go show you guys the stash real quick here. I didn't want to forget, 17 hours left on it. Claim that. Claim one of the 30% boost as well. Just get them out of the overflow. Now we can jump back into this fight. So, yeah, the regeneration boost was 1 because it was expiring, and 2 because we're using suicides with Sim Supreme, which I don't like to do, but with the regen boost it'll help to just kind of cut down on a bit of the bleed and poison. But we also have a 30% boost on right now, so we take even more damage from the suicides, so it's a little bit of a little annoying. But yeah, champion here, we take a little bit of block damage at the start of the fight, but that's fine. And then I think it's right here. I bait out this L1, and I think I dex it. Yeah, right there, I dex one of the hits. I was like, hey, this is kind of like 6.2, kind of used to that fight now. And then I think I tried to do it again, and I'm like, nah, I should stop horsing around. Let me stop trying to evade these. I don't need to. Right here, I took some blocked hits. I'm like, yeah, let's get out of there. Let's not do that anymore. So right here, I get to my L3. Before I'm about to go into my next phase, I'm at 100 genetic potential. This is perfect time to drop the special 3 because I'm going to get about a bar of power back from that genetic potential. Going to nullify any buff that he has through Mystic Dispersion, give me more power, and I'm also going to get a little bit of power from the 150 Mystic boost. So right here, hit him with full combo, gives me an L2, boom, look at that, boom, we're back at another L2, we're going to drop this again, boom, 7k, 16k, 44k, get to another L2, but I get too much power, get pushed to an L3. If I dropped another L2, probably would have just killed him, would have been pretty nice, but that's fine, just going to drop this L3, it still does some pretty good damage. I was hoping it would kill him, but not quite, and then I just need one more combo, and he should be dead, so I'm just going to parry. Take some blocked hits to the face, it's fine. I got a bunch of perfect block right now and block proficiency. One more combo does the trick, and champion goes down. We cleared the lane, we cleared the bosses, no deaths. Again, this is at like 5 in the morning, so I was feeling pretty good, man. I was feeling very good. 13.9%, 3 items, 3 potions, but that's all good. And so normally I would throw a screenshot up of the victory screen right now, but the game is currently down where I'm recording this, so I can't jump in and take a screenshot. But we did end up winning the war, or so I've been told by the Alliance mates. I went to bed at like 6 in the morning, and I woke up, the war has been over, and the game's been down, so I haven't been able to log in yet. But yeah, guys, so that was my best war of the season so far. Let me know what you guys thought. It was pretty action-packed, man. Those mini-boss fights were a lot of fun. Really like fighting Nick Fury and Korg with Namor. A lot of fun. That's going to do it, though. I hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Share with your alliance mates. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.